Have you ever been the reason that your family computer has a bunch of viruses before? When I was about 9 years old, the game Minecraft was at its prime. It was taking the internet by storm. There were people making content about the game left and right. I happened to be swept up by this wave and wanted to get the game urgently. I saw an advertisement for the game adorned with a huge caption with red text. The text was adorned with flashing lights that said free download. These are huge, obvious red flags that 9-year-old me didn't understand. When I clicked the advertisement, I was redirected to a giant button that said download game. After it was downloaded, I got an executable file that was a Trojan. I clicked it, and before I knew it, I was staring at a loading bar that was supposedly installing the game. I looked around the desktop and saw new applications being added that weren't Minecraft. There was a bunch of bloatware such as YouTube or Netflix being added, and might I add that YouTube does not have an official desktop application to install. 9-year-old me was very illiterate too. A notification from an anti-malware application popped up. It says there were several threats found on the computer. What my 9-year-old point of view saw is several treats were found on the computer, which then prompted me to click Allow Treats. Shortly after, I told my parents about the computer. The look on their faces, their eyes, you can tell they were so disappointed. From that day, I've barely ever been trusted with a computer. About 4 years later, I decided to build my own computer. It worked for the most part, but along the way, I've learned a thing or two from what I've done. I've learned a lot more from mistakes rather than avoiding mistakes. In this current day, I know the most about computers in my entire family, and oftentimes there's a technical issue, they come to me first. It's kind of ironic coming from the person that blew up the family computer. But the only reason I've become this illiterate about computers is from the mistakes I made. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. The best teacher you could ever have is experience. I see a mistake as one step back, yet 2 steps forward. You learn a lot more from screwing up, you know. You can build a lot more from a particular subject from being wrong and correcting yourself. Classic trial and error. Like Albert Einstein once said, a man who has never made a mistake is a man who will never make anything. With the perspective, I'm Lucas Hernandez.